Good morning, everyone. So we're sat at my altar today. As you can see, I've got out my decorations for Ostara. I've got my bunnies and I've got this adorable garland here with eggs on it that actually lights up. Let me just switch that on. There we go. It's adorable. And I've got my cup of tea because it's first thing in the morning. Got my runes. Haven't pulled today's runes yet. Those are yesterday's, and somehow Bedford has managed not to play with them. He must have not noticed they were there. Bedford's the cat, if you're new here. But I just wanted to have a quick chat on here about when you get new cards, how important it is to cleanse them properly and cleanse the energy of the cards when you get them. Don't just start using them because you could be picking up on the energy of the person that had them before you, and that's absolutely disastrous because you'll get the wrong messages. It'll be nothing to do with you, and it could be completely the opposite to what's actually the truth for you. And then you may get discouraged and you might think, well, I can't do this, or these cards don't work, and it's just the energy of the cards. So I've got these cards. These are just from Amazon. Their career and work deck. They're pretty good, actually. Very interesting cards. Lots of different themes, lots of different things. But I started pulling some for myself. I thought I'd cleansed them enough. Clearly I hadn't, because I started pulling some for myself and the messages were the exact opposite to what's actually going on at work right now. And so I panicked. I was like, oh my goodness, oh, this is terrible. I thought everything was fine at work. Oh no, what's going on? And then I deferred to some other decks which were much more positive, and I thought, wait a minute, I didn't cleanse these properly, did I? So I got out the big guns. I got out the Palo Santo, which is this wood here. This is also a Palo Santo incense. I lit both of them and I passed every single card through the smoke. And sometimes that's what you have to do. I always do it above, so you don't drop the burning incense on the cards. I always do it above the card, like pass it through the smoke like this. Just every single card, one by one, and the box. Always do the box as well, because that can carry a lot of energy too, and that's obviously what they're contained in. And then I did another reading for myself this morning about my career and my work, and that made a lot more sense, and it was right on track. So it was simply that the cards hadn't been cleared properly. Particularly because you don't know who's going to be handling these cards. I bought a mini tarot deck recently, which is in here, which I'm going to try and get out and show you. And it had a terrible energy when it arrived, this one. The poor little thing. My guide said to me, you're going to have to cleanse that very, very, very thoroughly. They forgot to tell me with this one, but with that one they said, no, you need to clean that really thoroughly. It also wanted to stay in the bed with me because I'm in my bedroom. This one wanted to come to bed with me for a couple of nights as well to really get imbued in my energy, bless it, after I'd cleansed it thoroughly. Well, only got to cleanse it thoroughly if you're going to do that. So this deck is quite attached to me now, which is adorable. It's a very sweet deck, very dinky, so I carry it around in this little bag in my handbag. But this is a work and career deck. It's a decent one, actually. It's all right. You can just get this on Amazon. It's a good deck, but it was giving me bad messages. It was giving me very wrong messages, and they were all very negative as well. And that tells you something about the person or people that have been handling these cards or packing these cards or even delivering the cards. Clearly, they had a very pervasive negative energy which is rubbed off on these poor cards. And the messages I was getting was about being on the verge of being fired, doing really badly at work, things about to go wrong. So that's not the case at all for me. That's the complete opposite to what's going on in my day job. And obviously it sounded much more like somebody that might be working at Amazon, what they might be going through. That would be far more pertinent for them. Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, these were printed in Poland, for example. You don't know how many people have had their hands on these cards since they were, you know, the person who printed them, packed them up for Amazon, shipped them to Amazon, delivered them to Amazon, unpacked them at Amazon, brought them to my house. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of touches. And if some of those people's energy was negative, I mean, there's a lot of energy to clear there anyway. It's lots of people in the chain, potentially, that have touched or been near these cards. But if some of them were particularly negative people, that can be really pervasive. The poor cards will pick that up. So you've got to be so sure that you cleanse them properly, that you do cleanse your cards properly. So that's today's lesson. Cleanse your cards properly. If you've got any concerns, or if you're not sure if you've done it, just literally get out some sage or get out some Palo Santo. If you haven't got that sage incense, Palo Santo incense. If you can't use that where you are because you're not allowed to burn incense where you live, for example, use Florida water. You know, you can put it underneath a cloth and just very carefully flick the the Florida water around, try and keep the cards dry, do it around it or something like that, or clap over it, knock them. I like to knock cards to get the energy out of them as well. There's lots of things you can do even if you can't light a flame where you are. There's lots of techniques. I might do a video on that if you guys want me to. So anyway, have a wonderful Sunday. I will see you very soon with another reading. We're definitely going to have a reading today, and enjoy your morning tea.